Mhm. So sorry guys, yesterday I tried a lot to upload the recordings, but it was not at all loading. It was saying 9 hours, 2 hours to load. So that's the reason I couldn't able to save the recording. But just now I had shared the day before yesterday's class as well as yesterday's class. I'm just sharing now. Okay. Okay. Good. Let me open up our training content once. Okay. For the LWC guys, I have just uploaded the practice trial heads. So let me just add few people also to this practice trial heads. Okay. Okay. In the training content, now we are going to learn about the Lightning Web Components. Okay, so as part of the Lightning Web Components, the first thing which we are going to learn about the Lightning basics. Okay, and the second thing is Lightning to Apex communication and Lightning components communication. So as part of the Lightning basics, the thing that we are going to learn is how to install, like how to create Lightning components, and different files, different. Just 1 second, yeah, I can answer the charger. Okay. So how to create the Lightning components in different files which are present in Lightning component. We can say that how to create Lightning web component and LWC bundle. That is our second concept we will learn. Then the third concept we will learn how to deploy and verify. How to deploy and test. Okay. These are the three things as part of the basics which we are going to learn. So how to create a Lightning web component and what is LWC bundle, then how to deploy and test it. And the next thing what we are going to learn about this is we are going to learn about lifecycle methods and we are going to learn about decorators. Okay, these are the 5 major topics that we are going to learn about as part of the Lightning basics. Okay, so let's start with our first topic. Okay, the first topic is how to create a Lightning web component. To create the Lightning web component directly through the Salesforce, it's not possible, guys. Okay, so we have to install the Visual Studio Code. This is what I had discussed in our previous class. Okay, so to install the Visual Studio Code, the best link that was the link which I shared with you. Okay, this is the Visual Studio Code. This is like a code editor, and using this we can develop Salesforce applications, Java applications, Python applications. Like this is simply, and we have Notepad++, right? So Visual Studio Code is also like an editor where you can write your code, but Notepad++ is just with very less minor features, but Visual Studio Code is like it has so many extensions and you can directly deploy and you can directly connect to your Salesforce, or like it's a very powerful tool. Okay, so let me just open up this Apex hours. Anytime, guys, whenever you want to install the Visual Studio Code, this is the best place you can go and check. They have given the steps very well. There might be so many other links also you would find, but this is the way they just given all the things very clear. Okay, first you need to download and install the VS Code. Okay, so is all of you tried, or you want me to show one more time by downloading and installing? Or if all of you are done with this and if you face any issues, then I can clarify those issues. Otherwise, if all of you done, then if I go ahead again, then it will be waste of time, right? No, if anybody is not done and you wanted to go to these steps one more time, then fine, I'll go through it.
So if you have any doubts, we'll discuss after.
Okay. Uh, did you try downloading this, Chandana?
No, Swarna.
Okay. Yeah.
If I
Fine.
got any mistake, I'll ping you.
Okay. Surely you will get the mistakes. Okay. So let me download
Okay.
and show you guys, because let me check. Did I have Visual Studio Code? No, I don't have, right? Fine. So even I don't have Visual Studio Code in my system. So what I will do is I'll follow the steps one by one. Okay, the first step is download the VS Code from here to install on your computer. So I'm going to download it. Okay, it won't take much time, guys, to download it. We just need to select our operating system. Mine is Windows. So I'm just selecting the Windows operating system. Then automatically it will start the downloading.
Development.
So you guys also, if you have laptops with you, please do along with me. Okay. Is anybody is having Mac operating systems? No, right? Everybody is having Windows. Okay. Then you need to just download. Okay, then an exe file will get downloaded for you. Then you just need to run that file. It will ask you Microsoft Visual Studio Code. It's just installing the normal softwares, guys. I accept the agreement. Click on next. So generally it will install you in C:users and programs. Okay. Microsoft VS Code. Okay. You just copy this path, not required, but generally just copy in, keep it in somewhere. Okay. So that whenever in future, if you wanted to refer where is your VS Code, then you can just remember it. Okay. Then click on next. Then it is asking you to select the menu bar shortcut. Click on yes and click on next. Click on next. All the things you just need to click on next and click on install. Okay. Finish. Fine. When you click on finish, it will open up a Visual Studio Code. Okay. This is the Visual Studio Code. Okay. So it looks like this. If anyone don't, I mean, generally black color and white font looks good, guys, but some people don't like it. Then you can just change it to white color and black font. Okay. It depends on, but generally whatever the default font they have given looks good. Then this is how a Visual Studio Code looks. Okay. Then we will go to our link. Our first step is down. Completed. I have downloaded and I have installed in my computer. Okay. And I just need to do my second step. Install the Salesforce DX CLI. What is the use of Salesforce DX CLI is? So Visual Studio Code is an editor, guys. Using that, you can write lot of codes. Okay, you can create some sample project and you can, but how can you communicate whatever the things you are writing inside this? If you wanted to push it to your Salesforce arc, or if you want to get some information from your Salesforce arc, okay, everything will happen to the Salesforce CLI. Okay, if you have CLI installed, then only you can connect with your Salesforce. This Visual Studio Code, you can connect with the Salesforce. That's the reason, as part of the second step, we need to install the Salesforce DX CLI. So I'm just clicking here. Make sure that you click here only, guys. Don't click on the link to installer. Those links are not working. But if you click on here, then it will take you to the correct ones. Okay. Here also you just need to select what is your Windows or Mac or Linux operating system. If it's the Windows, click for download for Windows 64. Or if it is a 86-bit version, then you can make it as a 86. But mine is 64, guys. So I just selected 64. So it's downloading. Okay. Now it's downloaded. We can click on the same file so that it will get executed. Okay. Do you want to allow this app to make the changes to your device? You will get that prompt. Then you need to just click on yes, not no, guys. Whenever you are trying to install the software, if you get any prompt, do you want to allow? We have to click yes. Okay. I just clicked on yes. Then you will get a choose components, select components to install. The one is SFD, 3 checkboxes will be there. Make sure that you check all the 3 checkboxes, guys. Okay, as part of your second step. Then the third step, it will automatically populated. It is going to install under the C drive and click on install. So for SFDX also, you are not going to make any changes. You are just keeping as it is. Whatever the default things it is populating, we are just keeping as it is, and we are just clicking on next, and install. The same thing we did for the Visual Studio Code also. We no need to modify anything. Okay. So completely as part of our training, you are going to learn about the 3 tools, guys. One is data loader, data import wizard, and the third thing is the Visual Studio Code. Okay. Okay. Now it's completed. I'm making it as a close. Okay. My second step is also completed. Now I need to go to that particular link, and next I need to check what is the next step. Okay. The third step is install Salesforce extensions pack for Visual Studio Code. Okay. So we just need to go to our Visual Studio Code. This is the image of your Visual Studio Code, guys. We just need to go to Visual Studio Code and extensions. Extensions is nothing but the last icon with 4 slices. Okay. This is the extensions icon. We need to go to these extensions, and here you need to search for what they said, Salesforce extension pack. And if you see it here, guys, they said Salesforce extension pack. You can just search for the same name. Salesforce extension pack. Okay, you will find the multiple things. The first name is Salesforce extension pack, and the another name is Salesforce extension pack expanded. But for us, what they said is like so the best thing is that was the old document. So Salesforce extension pack, which contains only 9 components, guys. Salesforce CLI integration, Apex, I mean, these are the different things that supports different types of languages. Okay. If you go with the Salesforce extension pack extension, which supports all the 9 things like Salesforce CLI integration, Apex, ARA components, Visualforce, Apex debugger, Lightning Web Components, all the 9 things. Apart from that, it will support the PMD also. That means PMD is nothing but the code review tools, guys. So either you can install the first one or second one. Anything is fine. Okay. A little bit more features. So let me install it the first one only. Okay. Because we are not going to use all PMD and all for now. But in your projects, yes, we will use for the code review purpose. Okay. PMD tools. So for now, we are just following whatever they said. So I'm installing the Salesforce extension pack. It will take a little bit time, guys.
Swarna, in second step, we have shall we open a new file to start?
In second step,
Second step, Visual Studio Code and editing evolved. Sure. Second step.
second step is install Salesforce DXCLI, right?
Yeah, I will click here.
Yeah. Here you just need to click on here and it will
Then
it will download the CLI. You need to install that thing.
installation completed, Swarna, but it will show something.
Is it showing any mistakes?
Not mistake.
Okay.
After installing, it will come up with a page.
After installation, it came up with a page finding. Can you share your screen?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, this is the first step, right? This is the Visual Studio Code installation, and after the installation, this is the Visual Studio Code opens up.
Okay.
Okay. And in your second step, it would have downloaded the SLI. If you go to the environment variables, can you open up environment variables?
ఖచ్చితంగా మన ఇంటికి వచ్చి టెస్ట్ వేసుకునే కూర్చో.
Okay. If you see the path,
Yes, Swarna.
yeah, click on path, click on edit. Your SLI is not installed yet. Just VS Code is got installed. Can you see the system path once?
Yeah, sure.
Have you completed your second step, system path?
No,
System
no,
variable.
Swarna.
Okay.
Okay.
You just completed only first step, right?
Step, yes.
Okay, fine. Yeah, after first step, the page will open. You can just leave it as it is. Visual Studio Code. This is the Visual Studio Code. Okay.
Okay.
After the
Then
second,
shall I?
then you have to go with the second step. Okay.
Okay, Sanjay.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Then Chandana, can you stop sharing? I'll share the screen.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. From the third step, we need to install the Salesforce extensions pack, guys. Okay. From the extensions, this is the 4 slices is nothing but the extensions. When you click on it, here you can search for Salesforce extension pack, and then you will get the option of install. It will take a little bit time, but after that it will show you like this, disable and uninstall. That means this extension is installed. Okay. After this extension gets installed, what is the next step they said? That is the third step we need to follow, guys. Install Salesforce extension pack for Visual Studio. Okay. That is the third step. They are explaining you about. They are explaining you what is the extension pack contains. Okay. So don't get bothered about, guys. This was done a long back. That's the reason that time it has only 7, but now it has 9. They keep on improves, right? So now it has 9. So don't bother about the exact count. You just need to go to extensions and you need to install the extension pack. That's it. Okay. As part of the third step, you just need to do that thing. Then as part of the fourth step, create a Salesforce DX project. That means Salesforce project. How to create a Salesforce project using Visual Studio Code. Okay. For that, what they are saying is we are going to create our first project using the VS Code. To create the project, open command palette. Open command palette. How can you do this is you can go to okay. You can go to view and you can click on command palette. Okay. On click of view, you will get an option of command palette. You can do like this, or else there is a shortcut, guys, Control Shift P. If you do view command palette or Control Shift P, both will do the same thing. That is what they said. Open command palette that is available under the view. Or you can press simply Control Shift P. That is the shortcut. Then type SFDX, create project with manifest. Okay. I'm just copying this thing. Alt tab. Okay. View, command palette, and trying to type whatever they have given. Okay. SFDX, create project with manifest. This is what we need to select. I just selected that thing. Okay. Then it will ask me whether it is a standard, empty, or analytics. So in our case, we have to select the standard. Okay. Then we have to give the project name. Okay. Enter the project name. So I'm giving sample project. Okay. Generally, we will just give our project names, guys. But right now, I'm just giving the otherwise, let me give like a dream house project. So dream house project and click on enter. Then it will ask you where you are planning to store this project. Generally, we can select document folders or we can select D drive. If you have D drives, then you can select the D drive or else you can select the documents folder. So inside my documents folder, I wanted to create this project. Then you will get this kind of pop-up. You will trust the others. You have to say, yes, I trust the others. Okay. This is nothing but your Salesforce project, guys. So we have a concept of we used to deploy the things, right? So that we are going to store under the, this is our Salesforce project structure. Manifest is the one where we have package.xml file. Using this, we can do the deployments and we can retrieve the components from our Salesforce arc. Okay. Mainly using this, you need to learn about the two folders, guys. One is manifest folder and another one is ForceApp folder. Okay, these are the two folders which will get created. So whatever the structure you are seeing it here, right? The same thing you will see under the documents. Okay, under the documents, you will see the dream house project. Inside that, these are nothing but the different structures. Manifest is a structure where it has package.xml. Okay, and then ForceApp is the structure where it has all your Salesforce components, like what all the applications you have, classes, layouts, objects, tabs, like whatever the applications that you have in your Salesforce. All the applications are created as a separate, not the applications, all the components that you can store into the multiple folders. Okay, and you can deploy these things into any other arc. Okay, that is the main use of Visual Studio Code, guys. Okay, to extract the information which is available in your arc. Okay, for example, right now you guys have different things, right? For example, if some person, let us assume if I have implemented some code in my arc, then I want to retrieve and I wanted to deploy those changes to your arc. That is possible with the VS Code, guys. You can retrieve and you can deploy it to other arc. Directly, it's not possible, right? But using VS Code, yes, that is possible. That's the reason to retrieve the data, we use the thing package.xml. This is the way we will define what components you want to retrieve. Okay, to get the data from the Salesforce, then we have to have package.xml, guys. Package.xml is the one which drives. Okay, if you wanted to, generally, if you wanted to retrieve a multiple components together, that is possible with the package.xml only. Okay, it has different component types like Apex classes, components. Okay, and in case of custom objects, if you want, you can just simply mention, if you wanted to retrieve all your custom objects, then you can simply mention one more thing, custom object. Okay, then it will retrieve all the custom objects. Like that, package.xml is the one we can define different components, and using those components we can retrieve from the arc. To retrieve from the arc, how can Visual Studio Code knows from which arc I need to retrieve it? That is your fifth step. Okay, as part of the fourth step, you just created a sample project. So project is nothing but it's a skeleton of having one package.xml and different component files like folders, right? So now your project is ready, and for your project, what you can do is you can create something. Okay, for example, if I go to the objects, okay, right click, what I can do is generally objects and all we will create, guys, but classes, Apex classes are LWC coding configurations, right? Generally coding we will do as part of these two things, guys, classes and LWC. So you can create a new components, Lightning Web components, and you can deploy it to your Salesforce org. So to deploy to my Salesforce org, first I need to connect my Visual Studio with my Salesforce org. Okay, that is what we will do in the fifth step. Okay, fifth step is nothing but connect with your Salesforce org. We just created a project in Visual Studio Code, and then the fifth step is we need to connect with your Salesforce org. For that, we just need to do the authorize and org. So again, how can I do the authorize and org? I can press Control Shift P. That will open up my command, Control Shift P. It will open up the command palette. Or else if you get confused with that, you can open up the same command palette from the view. Okay, it will open up the same thing. The next command you need to follow up is sfdx authorize and org. Okay, so I'm going to the view command palette, sfdx authorize and org. Okay, you will get sfdx authorize and org. Here you have to select whether it is the production or sandbox or custom. Okay, so for our learning purpose, we always use, I told you, right? In the projects, they have different environments. But for our learning, for our trainings, we have only one environment, and that we treat it as a production environment. So you just need to set it as a production. And then you need to give your org name. So I'm just giving B. I'm just giving Feb 2023 is my org name. Okay. Authorize an org failed to run. Okay. Whenever I'm trying to authorize an org, it got failed. Whenever you get this kind of errors, guys, authorize an org failed to run. Okay. It is saying that sfdx is not recognized as internal or external command. Whenever you get sfdx is not recognized as internal or external command. Okay, then what you need to do is you just need to open up your command prompt. Okay, cmd command prompt and just type sfdx and click on enter. Okay, then if you see this kind of list of commands and things, that means you have sfdx in your machine. Okay, you have sfdx, it is identified and it is giving you the what is the version of the sfdx and everything it is giving when you give the sfdx command. That means you have sfdx in your system, but your Visual Studio Code is not able to identify that sfdx. So the simple fix for this is close the Visual Studio and again open it up again. Okay. So from the search, I can find out the Visual Studio Code. Whenever you face issue with an authorize an org, guys, saying that sfdx is not identified, then you need to go to your command prompt. You need to verify sfdx command is working or not. If it's working, then well and fine. You can just close the Visual Studio Code and open it again. If it's not working, that means SLI is not installed. So you have to do the second step. Okay, you need to install the SLI. And you will get these type of errors and informations. You can just simply close it. Okay. Now I'm going to perform my fifth step again. I'm opening up the command palette. I just clicked on Control Shift P, guys. Then again, I'm trying to authorize an org. Again, I'm going to select it as a production org. I'm going to give my arc is Feb 2023. This is my arc name I'm giving. See, now this time it worked. Here I need to give my username and password. Whatever the arc I am using, I'm going to give my username and password. It will ask you to allow. Click on allow. Okay. Now we have all our arc, right? It logged into the our arc. Okay. The next thing what we need to do is whatever the arc you connected, it will show like this. Okay. Feb 2023. You have connected to this particular arc. This is how we will connect Visual Studio Code and Salesforce, guys. Now our Salesforce and Visual Studio Code is connected with first 5 steps. What all the 5 steps I have done is, the first thing is I have downloaded the Visual Studio Code and installed. The second step is downloaded the Salesforce SFDX CLI and installed. And the third step is I went to the extensions and enabled the Salesforce extension pack. After that, what is the fourth step I have done is I have created a project. Okay. So I have created a project using create project with manifest command. Okay. After that, fifth step is I have connected my Salesforce arc to this particular Visual Studio Code. So these are the 5 steps I'm done. Okay. Any questions in this 5 step, guys? Okay. Then let me move on to the how package.xml works. So we have created so many applications, right? Okay, we have created so many applications, objects, tabs, right? So, but if you go to the applications folder here, it is showing empty. Okay, if you go to the tabs folder here, it is showing empty. If you go to the objects folder here, it is showing empty. So I wanted to retrieve the data. Okay, so that this is your code management tool, guys. If you have heard about the Git tools, Git repository tools, okay, generally what we will do is we will retrieve the data from our Salesforce arc and we will store into the Git repository tools. For that purpose, you have to like retrieve the data. How can you retrieve the things that you have created using package.xml? So let me just write down few things, like I'll give tab and then I'll give application. Otherwise, let's keep existing things as it is and let me add the new ones. So like custom object, I can give tab. Okay. And the next thing is, if I wanted to get the applications, I'll give application as the name. Star will give you the all applications it will retrieve, guys. If you wanted to retrieve only few applications, then you can just you can just simply mention that application name, then it will retrieve only that particular applications, or else it will retrieve all the applications. I just saved it. Okay, so before going to that retrieval part, guys, let me check what else steps are there here. So the next step they have given here is the project connection, then retrieve the components from Salesforce R using the VS Code. Okay, so this is the next command. So now you want to extract all your Salesforce components into your VS Code. Open package.xml file from the manifest folder, then modify your package.xml. This is what I am doing. Like what all components I would like to retrieve. Okay, I would like to add or remove the components. Like what all the components you would like to retrieve, those components you would like to mention it here. Now I don't have objects in the package.xml, so I added because I need objects which are created. I need applications which are created. I need tabs which are created. Okay, so as part of your custom object, it will pull all your custom fields also, guys. Okay, so don't worry on that. And apart from that, what else we have? We have layouts, right? So I wanted to retrieve all the layouts also. Okay, so let me add that one. So it will pull up all the page layouts. Okay. So let me save it. So I have modified the package.xml. Then I need to finally click on the package.xml and select retrieve source from option. Click on the package.xml means right click, guys. You just need to click on right click. Then it will ask you these two things: retrieve source from manifest arg. That is nothing but this command will get the information from your arg. And if you want to deploy something from Visual Studio Code to Salesforce, then you need to use the deploy command. Okay. So this is how Visual Studio Code and Salesforce will communicate. To get these two options you will see only if the arg is connected. Okay. Otherwise, if the arg is not connected, then you don't find these two options. So now I'm trying to retrieve source in manifest from arg. Okay. Again, it got failed. Whenever it got failed, you can just see what is the error. Okay, so I can just missing metadata type definition in registry for the ID tab. Okay, here I have given the tab, right? That is the wrong. I have to give custom tab. Okay, you might have a doubt. How can I know what to give to retrieve the tabs? Okay, it's simple, guys. So you have to open up Google tab, package.xml to retrieve Salesforce tabs. Okay, you have to search like this. Okay. There is a metadata API developer guide, guys. Okay, whatever we are retrieving, they call it as a like API, metadata API they are using to retrieve these things. Okay. So yeah, for you can just keep this link. Okay. This is the custom tab. So I don't want to confuse you. I'm just searching for a best place where you will easily figure it out the things. Okay. So you have to mention like custom tabs. For profiles, you have to mention profile. For objects, you have to mention custom object. Okay. So for tabs, you have to mention custom tab. Okay. So already I mentioned it as a custom tab. Then whenever you see some white icon, right, that is nothing but your file is not saved. You have to save the file. Okay, whenever you do some changes, you have to save the file. So I just clicked on Control S, guys, but you can do Control S, or you can save from the files also. Okay, now the custom tab again. I would like to give you this is yeah, this is the best way to search, but I'm searching. There is one more link that will give you like all components. Now you are seeing about the package example. Okay. Sample package.xml. Okay. This is the, I'm just keeping this link, guys. Okay. This will give you, if you want to retrieve standard objects, then this is how you have to write. Custom object star will give you the all standard and custom objects, or if you want to retrieve only specific object, then you have to give that specific object name. Okay. And the same way for the custom objects, standard or custom objects, all the objects you have to give it as a custom field. Okay, if you wanted to get the some field values, okay, standard pick list field values, then you have to use like that. And if you wanted to get the custom field, you wanted to retrieve some custom field information from your Salesforce arc, then you have to mention like this custom fields, then that particular field name. And if you want to retrieve the all the fields, then it's just custom field and star. Okay. And if it's a combination of standard and custom fields, then it's okay. And if you wanted to retrieve the list views, then you have to give the list view. Okay. And if you wanted to retrieve any security settings that we have done, okay, then you have to give security settings like this. And if you want to retrieve assignment rules, auto response rules, escalation rules, then you have to write package.xml like this, assignment rules. Okay, like that. This is the link it will give you. So whenever you wanted to retrieve some things, right, so you can just go to this and you can just verify it, guys. Okay, this will give you a best, like you will get an easy way of, okay, this is how I can do it. Okay, so let me just copy this thing and paste it in our class notes. Okay, this will give you like the same way they have prepared this package.xml. So if you understand the structure, right, whenever if you want to retrieve some component, you can just Google it with that component, how to write the package.xml to retrieve this component. Then you will understand how to give the, I mean, you just need to know what is the name you need to give and what is, how we need to mention the members. That's it. Okay. So now let me just retrieve source in manifest arc. Again, it got failed, guys. Okay. So let me go ahead and check what is the error this time. Okay. Let me just scroll down. This time it did not find the application. Okay. So I have used the application, right? So again, what I'll do, I think this is the custom application I need to give. If I Google it, I'll get the same thing. Let's just give me the custom application and then try to give the retrieve. Okay. I just need to mention the proper names, guys, in the package.xml. Okay, it has some structure. Now, see, all my applications, whatever I have, it got into the Visual Studio Code. The same way, what else I have? Layouts, right? I have the layouts. See, all the page layouts are retrieved to this Visual Studio Code. Now I can deploy these layouts to any other art. The same step. How I connected to Feb 2023, right? I can connect to any of your arts. Then I can simply click on deploy to another art. Okay. So I can retrieve and I can deploy. Okay. This is how we usually do the deployments from one art to another art, guys. Okay. In real time, this is how we will move the components from one art to another art. Okay. So any questions on retrieving the components? Okay, now let me go to that particular link and let me see the next thing. Deploy the components using Visual Studio Code. Okay, so this is nothing but whatever the components which we have retrieved. If you want to do any changes, then you can do some changes. For example, do I have any classes? I don't have any classes. So layouts, applications. So I can see there are different objects which I have created. I got all my objects. Okay. And I got all my tabs. Okay. So in front end, you were just doing the configurations, right, guys? In the backend, Salesforce is creating all this code for you. Okay. XML code for you. Whenever you create something, Salesforce is generating these XML codes are like in city area also. Okay. For each and everything you do there, you will just drag and drop or you will check the checkboxes and everything. In backend, there is a code generated for you. That we call it as a metadata, guys. Okay. So whatever the actions which we are doing as part of the front end, so in backend, everything is configured. That we call it as a metadata. Okay. Then deploying is nothing but you can just do some changes and you can just deploy it. For example, if you wanted to make some particular, what is this? These are the tabs, right? For example, city area tab. Okay. This is the tabs thing. So you can just see the tabs and this is what the icon, guys. So if you want to change the icons or if you want to give something, you can modify it. Or else, if you have any, let me create some things. LWC, right? Right now we don't see any LWC components, right? So we don't have any Apex classes. So we can just simply create. We can create an Apex class, or else if you just click on the Apex folder, it will ask you to create the class, guys. And if you click on layouts, okay, so layouts and all, you will not get anything. But if you click on LWC, okay, it will ask you create lightning web component. So whatever the development which we are talking, I told you, right, we do the development in two ways. One is the lightning web component and another one is the Apex classes. And another one is the Aura, guys. Okay. When you click on, right, you can create Aura application and Aura component. Okay. All these things. But we are not going to learn Aura, guys. We are not at all going to create even one single new Aura component. Okay. We will just create, like we might create the Aura components, but we are not going to write any logic. We will just call the LWC components. And you will be having an option of pages. Actually, that is not here. Those are nothing but the visual force pages. Visual force, Aura, lightning. These three are similar to workflows, process builders, flows, guys. Okay. How initially we have workflows. Later on, for the performance increases, they came up with the process builders. And now they came up with the flows, right? And nowadays, everybody is going to use the flows only, right? The same way, initially they have a concept of visual force pages. Okay. Then to increase the performance, they came up with the concept of lightning. And as part of lightning, the first thing they came up with the lightning aura. But with lightning aura also, they were facing a lot of performance issues. So they came up with the concept of LWC. LWC is their successful product, guys. And it was very successful and it was very latest technology. So in your resumes, you should have either Aura knowledge or LWC knowledge. Okay. Most of the projects having LWC only. Okay. If you have LWC knowledge, that is very preferable, guys. Okay. So we are going to learn about the LWC because if you said, because these are very similar, if you know, like if you know the flows, you can understand process builders, right? If you know the process builders, you can understand the workflow rules also. The same way, if you know the LWC, you can understand ARA. You can understand visual force pages also. If you wanted to learn each and everything, that is not possible. So just concentrate on the major and latest technology. Okay, that is our LWC. Okay. So first what we will do is we will create our first LWC component and try to see how to do it. Okay. So to create the LWC component, you just need to go to this LWC folder and then right click. There is an option, create lightning web component. Okay. It will ask you to give the name of the component name. Okay. Enter desired file name. So hello world component. Okay. Because when we are learning the programs, the first program which we learn always is hello world, right? So if you want to simply display a message of hello world, okay, using LWC, what all the steps we need to do is, first we need to create the LWC component. Okay, when you click on enter, then it will ask you where to store. You just need to select the LWC. Okay. Now you have a component gets created for you guys. Hello world component created for you. This is nothing but the LWC bundle. We call it as a hello world component with 4 files. We call it as a bundle of files. Bundle is nothing but the multiple files. Okay. So in interviews, they will ask you a question. What are the different components which are present in LWC bundle? Then you need to tell about these 4 files. Okay. These are the 4 types of components that will be available in LWC bundle. Okay. Now I have created hello world component. Okay. Now let me just go ahead to Salesforce. From the Salesforce also, you can verify whatever the different LWC components you have. For that, what you need to do is you need to go to Lightning Setup. Under the Lightning components, you will see the what are the available Lightning components you have in your system. Okay. So I'm just refreshing the page. If I see the lightning component, I don't see the component here, guys. Okay, actually I have created the component. Okay, but I don't see the components here. If you want to see the created components to under the lightning components, you have to deploy this component. Okay, hello world component. If you want to deploy any component, you can just right click on that particular component and then you have to go with the deploy source to arc. Okay. this will deploy this particular component to your Salesforce arc. Okay, deployment is succeeded. Now, if you go to the Salesforce arc, you will just see your component. This is how. You cannot directly create the Lightning web components inside the Salesforce arc, guys. Lightning Aura components, yes, you can create, but Lightning web components you cannot create directly inside the Salesforce. You have to create through the Visual Studio Code. Inside the Visual Studio Code, you have to create and then you have to deploy. If you want to modify also, you have to modify here and then you have to deploy. That's the reason in real time, without Visual Studio Code, you cannot perform any work. Okay. Even for the Apex classes also, they will ask you to modify the changes through Visual Studio Code only. Through the developer console, we can write the code, guys. There is an option of setup, developer console. Okay. If you open up here, there is an option of file, new, Apex classes, Apex triggers, VisualForce pages, Lightning components that you can create. Okay. So, but this is not the advisable one in your project's point of view. Once you go to the projects, then every time let's do with this. Why? Because whenever we wanted to deploy it, then we will be having the things with us. Okay. So from here, you can create the Apex class. Create Apex class. You can just simply give it as a sample class. Click on enter. So if you go to the Apex classes, haven't created. Let me try one more time. Okay, I'll go to classes. I can click on create Apex class. The file name, I'm going to give it as a sample class. I'm clicking on enter. Okay. Then it will ask me where you wanted to store. I would like to store this class under classes folder. Then it's created Apex class for me. Okay. Whenever you create an Apex class, it will create a class as well as the XML, guys. Okay. If you create the Apex class inside the inside the developer console, it's the same thing. You will do new Apex class and you are going to give the same name. So okay, I'm just refreshing it.